So, I'm going to be completely honest with you guys and say that this video is very scuffed. Hey everybody, Xeno here, and today we're doing a Q&A video. I've never done one of these, but I'm very excited to hear today, and I think it's going to be a lot of fun, you know? Not to sugarcoat it though, this is a very filler video, very scuffed, last minute. I originally was going to do a big theory this week, but I needed more time for that, so instead, you get this. I don't think it's a bad lot though. I've always really enjoyed Q&A videos, so I think we're gonna have some fun here today. I got some questions from you all. I'm gonna give my opinions, answers, whatever the heck I need to give to satisfy what you asked here today, and let's just get into it, because there's actually quite a bit. First up, we have a question from Drew Schramm here. What encouraged you to go from Zelda content creator to YouTube content creator for Zelda content? Did you watch a bunch of videos like the rest of us before? It's a very interesting question, and I'm sure that you'd like to know the very interesting answer, wouldn't you, Drew, and the rest of the audience? I've definitely been a fan of many YouTube creators before I myself got into creating videos. So I always think of three main inspirations when I think of who got me into videos, and actually none of them are Zelda theorists, so that's interesting. I love the Zelda theory community as well. I'm totally with you there. Back when Breath of the Wild came out, I was watching Commonwealth Realm. NBC was a little after that, I think, but I did get into watching his videos as well, which is why it was so amazing to work with him in that last collab. And Zeltic, of course, you know, like all of them. They're all great. I love all those guys. They're great. But the three main channels that come to mind when I think of the people that inspired me to start just making videos is, I'd say, probably the original Game Explain crew, which a lot of them have branched off and formed Good Vibes Gaming, and John's at Nintendo Life now. So they're not exactly all in the same place anymore, but they all make great stuff, and I really enjoyed watching them for years. Also, Chukka Conroy, who is a Let's Player, but just the best Let's Player I've ever seen. I love watching that guy's videos. He's just such a joy to watch. And finally, Peanut Butter Gamer, I'd say, because, you know, he's just a funny guy. So, all right, next question. Link Hyrule says, "What is your favorite rendition of the hurdy-gurdy man, the guy who plays the Song of Storms across the games? And what is your favorite Majora's Mask side quest, excluding the cafe and Andrew one? Loved your video. Keep up the great work." Thank you. So you got a double question here. Okay, give me a second to think about this. Hold up. Guro appeared in more than 2 games. I thought he only appeared in Majora's Mask and Ocarina of Time. Okay, hold up. Oh, apparently he did also appear in Oracle of Seasons. Okay, that's interesting. I didn't even know he was in that game. So of the 3 of those, I'd probably say Majora's Mask, just because I like how he's the kooky old man living outside of a cafe's house, just kind of doing his thing. Also, speaking of cafe, you said favorite side quest, excluding that quest. I would probably have to go with, oh my gosh, there's so many good ones. I've always had a soft spot for the Camaro Mask quest, where you just go learn this guy's dance, this spirit that won't leave the earth, and then he finally leaves and you teach the dance to everyone, and it's a really weird dance. I think that I'm just going to go with that one. Then again, there is so many good quests in that game, it's just hard to choose. Okay, this next one comes from my own mod on Discord and Twitch, Violet the Pie. What genre of games do you like, and how has it affected the types of games that you like to play? So, definitely I like story-focused games. That's something that it just comes to mind immediately. That's why Xenoblade is such a fun series to me. Zelda to an extent as well. Yeah. Beyond that, action-adventure games, Zelda, I do like RPGs just because that usually comes with the story as well. It's not exactly like, oh, I like turn-based combat and everything. I'm, like, indifferent to it, I guess. I'm more there for, like, the other elements that prop that up. But yeah. Alright, next question from Tyler Townsend, a good friend of mine as well, that also makes Zelda videos on YouTube. So if you have not already, go check him out. He does great stuff over there. Alright, Tyler says, what developer outside of Nintendo do you think would nail a Zelda game? This is a really hard-hitting question right here, Tyler. I know a lot of people would probably go From Software just because they like the idea of a Dark Souls type Zelda game, right? I don't think I do that because first, I've never really fully played a Dark Souls game. The closest I got was playing a little bit of Sekiro, but like not the full game. And I don't know. I'm not the biggest fan of really like slow-paced, really feel the weight combat, I guess, like which is apparently all that Dark Souls is about, and also dying. But I wouldn't say From Software. I know a lot of people would. I'd probably go more towards Sucker Punch and Ghost of Tsushima, because that's another game that I feel takes a lot of inspiration from Breath of the Wild in particular, and also like the Assassin's Creed series and everything. I think they can make a great Zelda game. A bit more realistic, but still really good. Also, just bring that wind feature from Ghost into Zelda game, because that is so ingenious. Everyone should use that. Peter Y, what kind of movies do you like, and what are your favorite movies from said genre? Oh, goodness. Okay, so this is similar to games for me. It's really hard for me to like pin down a definitive list of my favorite types of movies. I'll watch a movie and I'll either think, wow, that was extremely good, or like, wow, that was kind of trash. So it's hard for me to pin down like a list. I can tell you right now, like all the Marvel stuff coming out right now, I know like a lot of people, either you're on it or you're off it. I'm definitely on it right now. I have very much been enjoying all their Disney Plus series and everything. I think they're doing a great job with that stuff. I don't care what anyone says, if it's just like so popular at this point that it's I think they're doing a great job with it. Another thing I watched recently, I guess I'm just talking about what I'm watching recently at this point, is Spirited Away. I talked about this on Twitter the other day, but I watched that for the first time the other night, and that blew me away. Like, I am so excited to watch the other Studio Ghibli and Miyazaki films now that I've watched that, because that was so good. So, there's your sort of half answer. Alright, we got some Breath of the Wild 2 questions now. Abomination says, what is one very weird thing that not many people have said that you want in Breath of the Wild 2? Tingle. I don't know, maybe everyone's saying this, but Tingle needs to come back. He was teased in Breath of the Wild with the Tingle Islands, right? So maybe they'll bring back his brothers as well. That would be great. We can just have more Tingle, basically. I genuinely think this is a fun character. I know a lot of people say he's great just to be like ironic or something, but no, I actually really enjoy Tingle, and I think that kind of weirdness is something that the Zelda series excels at. So I would love to see the man back in Breath of the Wild 2. Bring back all kinds of old characters that just we haven't seen in a while. Goro, like we were talking about earlier. Bring that guy back too, you know, just to, I don't know. Also, make sure you do new stuff, but also embrace some of the old. Kakariko Cage, love the name by the way. Alliteration is one of my favorite things in the world, so definitely a thumbs up for me. Says, what is your thoughts on the Cult of Demise theory? The idea that there's a secret cult manipulating things behind the scenes to revive the Demon King, and if we're seeing the end result of that in Breath of the Wild 2's sequel trailer. It makes sense, you know, right? Like in Zelda 2, the whole thing is like there's a cult of people that just want Ganon revived for some reason. And I very much think that could be something that happens now that you mention it, because I always go back to this idea that Breath of the Wild is like a remake of Zelda 1, right? So why would Zelda, the sequel to Breath of the Wild, not take from Zelda 2? That game is just, it's really weird, but I think that it deserves to have some more love, you know? And I think Breath of the Wild 2 can maybe like be a way of doing that. So I definitely think there could be something to that there, and I would love that personally. I've talked about it so many times how I think that side villains and extra characters around Ganondorf are usually amazing. Alright, I think this is our final Breath of the Wild 2 question from Daryl, who asks, do you think Breath of the Wild 2 will be the darkest Zelda game of all time? And do you think dungeons will return again? Heavy-hitting question here again. I don't think that. I kind of talk about this in my video on the Majora's Mask quote from back at, when the game was revealed. Apparently, they said that, oh, this game could be darker than Majora's Mask. I don't know. Apparently, there's some, like, stuff going around that now where it might be a mistranslation. But I do think that the comparison is there to be made any way that you slice it. I don't think this could ever surpass Majora's Mask, though. I don't know if anything can, because on the surface level, sure, it's a pretty dark game, but like when you get into the nitty-gritty of it and everything, it's just such a depressing and interesting experience, and I don't know if anything will ever be able to replicate what Majora's Mask did. As far as dungeons, I think there's a good chance. Of course, it's always up in the air. We don't know for sure until they show us, but I feel like it's time. I feel like they experimented with Breath of the Wild, and if there was one thing they took away from that game that didn't work, it was probably the Divine Beasts. All right, next we have a question from Xanolith here. Which do you prefer, Zelda or Xenoblade? You had to do this to me, Xano. It's just... Okay, well. This is a question... It's very hard for me. But based on the shirt and just my gut feeling, I think I'd have to go with Xenoblade, and I know I'm gonna get canceled for that. I joked with my mods once even, like, don't ever reveal that information to anyone, but I might like Xenoblade more than Zelda, because that would get me canceled. But it's the truth's out there now. I think it has to be heard. Zelda is a very long spanning series that has so many great entries and so many great games. But when I look at those three games, those three Xeno games, I don't know. Those are some of my favorite games of all time, if not my favorite games of all time. And I think I'd have to go with them. Next is Stuart Harding here with the question, how old are you? And do you like punk rock? Now, Stuart, I got a very simple equation here for you to figure out exactly how old I am. Now, the game Super Mario Sunshine, correct? Came out in 2002. And if you add 100 to that, and then subtract some of those numbers, because that's way too old. Do I look 100 to you? I don't know, maybe I do. Subtract some of those numbers, add another 15, subtract that 15 too, and you got yourself my exact age. There you go. It's all good. Hope that was helpful. And punk rock, okay, so I've dabbled in it, you know, like it's definitely, it's not my favorite genre, I'd say, but like, yeah, I get some punk rock sometimes. Yeah, you know, yeah. And this actually ties really well into the next question from Bennett Scott here. What types of music do you enjoy listening to? So, of course, video game music, right? Like, that's something I use in the background of all my videos. I enjoy immensely just finding music for the background of my videos, trying to find exactly the right stuff to fit, and just having a chance to listen to all these songs again. And I really think that there's so much good music out there just from video games. I look at Persona 5 too, which I think Persona 5 and Persona 5 Scrambled are some of the best soundtracks, like, period. Like, out of anything, not just games or anything. I don't know if I'll ever stop listening to that. That's such a good soundtrack, and I think all the Persona games as well. I've not dabbled too much in the rest of them, but from what I've heard, they're great as well. And just Zelda, all those ones, they're great. But I think you want to hear outside of that as well, because of course he likes video game music. It's just he has a picture of Miyamoto behind him. Why would he not like Xenoblade music? That's a good one. But video game music. But no, I think outside of that, probably my favorite genre is actually pop music and everything surrounding that, in a way. Which maybe that's unexpected. I don't know. Is that something people just? Oh, he likes pop music. Oh, I don't know. But that's probably what I go with. Some of my favorite bands, I'd say, I really like Bastille. Been listening to them a lot lately. Keen, they've always been a great one. And you know, I dabble with the Coldplay sometimes. You know, I dabble with it. I mean, who doesn't? But yeah. And I'm just now noticing those are all British bands. So I guess anything British. Okay, we got another mod question here from Sparky Snow, a moderator on my Discord and Twitch pages. If you're not there already, go check them out. And she says that rumors have been spreading around the village of Waysale, which is my Animal Crossing village, by the way. Is it true that you ditched school to play The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild on its release day? Let it be known. This actually goes back to that same conversation we were talking about earlier, where they were going to cancel me for stuff. This was on that list. This was one of the things to cancel me for. And setting the rumors straight here, yes, that is true, actually. I took a sick day to play Breath of the Wild, and you guys you can't put me down for that, because I'm sure many of you did the exact same thing, so you can't put me down for that. If you didn't, you were probably jealous of me for doing it, and you should have done it yourself, you know, just, yeah. But actually, I recently remembered this when I was thinking about this question, and I actually did get sick, too. like, I took a day off to just play the game, right? But like, I got sick later that day, so I guess the universe was just trying to help me out there and justify my ability to stay home and play Breath of the Wild for a week, because I got pretty darn sick. So it was almost a week, and it actually worked out pretty well, you know, because I got to play Breath of the Wild. But yes, it's out in the open. That is what happened. Newborn Killick, love this man. Another great Zelda content creator, making even more stuff now. Like, if you like anything in particular at all, like in the universe, you're probably gonna like Newborn Killick. So go check him out as well. Killick says, I must learn more about Patrick, which I did mention as a sample question when introducing this Q&A to you all. So yes, the inner machinations of Patrick Star's mind. Patrick Star, if you didn't know, is actually a popular character in the children's cartoon SpongeBob SquarePants, which aired on Nickelodeon starting in 1999. He is a very complex character with questionable goals and questionable intelligence. He is hard to read. Patrick is a beloved character among all peoples, and he really is the cartoon version of the universal truth in my eyes. As someone who can at times be so dumb, yet at other times be such an intelligent life form, it's hard to understand. I could talk your ear off about this all day, Killick, but I have a feeling we're getting pretty far into this Q&A, and I need to speed it up. I need to speed it up a little bit, so sorry about that. Second question from you: what is one thing you would change about Majora's Mask? Oh gosh, this is actually the perfect question, because I was talking about it on stream the other day when playing Majora's Mask 3D. I think the item drops, the rate of item drops needs to be changed. Like, when playing Majora 3D on stream, I would constantly run into the problem where in Great Bay, I would run out of magic, which is, of course, like a thing that is distinct to the 3D version, because you have to use magic to use the Zora swimming abilities in that game, which is, yeah. But even like in Stone Tower Temple 2, that was something I would constantly like just be running out of magic and stuff. And I know people say, oh, just take the potion with you. I don't want to take the dumb potion. Just make your dumb spawn rates in the game better, okay? Said my piece. Thank you. Acronym animations, also known as Acro in the Discord server and on streams. But best non-Ganon villain or side villain. This is pretty easy for me. Girahim. I definitely think Girahim takes that cake. Aster had the potential to be, but I don't think he quite hit it. I kind of messed up the landing there. He looked like such a cool character beforehand, but then he turned out to be really one-dimensional, and they kind of misused him. They could have done so much more with Aster, but they didn't. Hopefully they do in the DLC. I don't think they will, because they didn't say they're going to do much story stuff, but who knows? Maybe there will be some backstory to him or something. Next question from Nerdific: where do you think Breath of the Wild sits on the timeline? Very good question. Me personally, I like to take the easy route here and say that it is a timeline convergence, where all three come back together and meet at Breath of the Wild. I really don't think Nintendo cares. That's basically what I'm trying to say. I don't think they're ever going to give us anything more than they already have, which implies that it is a timeline convergence type thing. Don't ask me how the heck that happens. It doesn't make any sense, but that's what I think Nintendo is going for here, just because they don't really care. I think that we could see a more structured look at the Zelda timeline now that they have done this, and they continuously go on from Breath of the Wild down the line. That could be something they want to do. I think that would be an interesting direction to go. It might be the best direction to go, but it's yet to be seen exactly what's going to happen after Breath of the Wild 2, so we'll just have to wait and see. Last but not least, I have my good friend Nehru here as well, who also makes Zelda videos. We just have most of the Sheikah Squad getting in here today. Nehru says, what is one fan theory that you really wish was true? For any franchise, I should specify. I think that would have to be Xenoblade Chronicles X2. Because at this point, that feels like it's just a fan theory. That's... I don't know if that's going to happen. It needs to, because that game has such a huge cliffhanger that it ends on. But no. Okay, so my actual answer here is probably some kind of Zelda theory. There's so many good ones out there that it's hard to choose one. So I'm going to take the easy route out and just say the one that I'm currently making my next video about right now, which is why this video exists in the first place, because I had to delay it so that I could work on it more. I think what I've been putting together with this particular theory is very, very interesting, and I can't wait to show it to you guys when it does get done, hopefully next week, but I'm gonna go with that one, and you'll just have to wait and see exactly what it is. But I feel like it's very interesting because it ties together a lot of things that we already know, just making them make more sense with things that might have been implied. That is all of our questions for today, though, and by golly, you guys had a lot of really good ones. I really enjoyed going over a lot of these things. I think you guys really hit it out of the park here, so good job on you. This video was mostly you giving me content to talk about, so thank you very much. Clap it up for the viewers. Clap it up for the viewers. I really appreciate you guys watching this video. I know it's not the normal Zelda content you're looking for, but it's a way for you to learn more about me, you know? And also, I mean, there was some Zelda content in there as well, so like, you can enjoy that as well. But I hope you enjoyed it. I was gonna call this my celebration for reaching 11.3k subscribers, because that number in particular is just so important to me. Never mind the fact that this is all so that I could have more time to finish my theory video, but I still appreciate you coming by, and 11.3 subscribers, all jokes aside, is insane. Thank you guys for all the support you've given me. I know I say that all the time, but I feel like it needs to be reinforced because you guys really do make this possible. Anyway, if you did watch this video and you haven't yet for some reason, please subscribe to the channel. It really helps us out and makes it so that I can continue to make more videos like this. Again, you can find me on Twitter at XenogamerYT, join the Discord server with the link in the description below, and come by Twitch every Friday to see new streams. And sometimes even not on Fridays. Like we did a really fun stream earlier this week where we did, the Sheikah Squad got together and played some Splatoon. I loved that stream. If you want to go catch the VOD, you can find that on the Twitch channel as well. So there you go. Go visit the Twitch too. That does it for me today, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will see you very soon with some more exciting stuff. Take care. Bye-bye.